Hello and welcome. This edition of the ENVI-met World Tour takes you to Lagos, Nigeria. My name is Tobi Morakinyo. Lagos, Nigeria is the economic hub of the most populous country on the African continent and the second most populated megacity. It is home to over 20 million people and the population will not stop growing soon as projections indicate 80 million by the end of the century. It is also a tropical city with high urban heat risk. Now, to resolve both the coastal flooding and housing deficit issue currently facing Lagos, a new coastal city called the Eko Atlantic city is being developed on an expanse of land reclaimed from the sea with effective flood defenses and would house at least 250,000 residents upon completion. A significant portion of the proposed 10 million square meters have been recovered and some skyscrapers are already springing up or completed. It is hypothesized that the location of the development along the trade wind path and the imposed urban details will not only impact the microclimate and thermal comfort experience within the development, but also in the downwind neighborhood. To investigate this, we developed four scenarios. The reference scenario represents the pre-reclamation situation and includes sections of the existing neighborhood and the sea. Scenario A is a situation where the reclaimed area is laden with compact high-density high-rise development and is assumed to be the status quo. Scenario B1 is the new city developed with certain great passive design interventions such as widening streets via building setback and separation and creation of wind corridor along the prevailing southwesterly wind, among others. Scenario B2 is the gray-green design interventions scenario, which contains all the gray design intervention in scenario B1, but also includes strategic greening. The strategic greening is the so-called right tree for the right place approach, in which trees of certain morphological characteristics correspond to definite urban morphology and orientation for optimized cooling benefits. Results shows that relative to the pre-reclamation case, the post-reclamation scenarios A, B1, and B2 are warmer both in situ and downwind during the daytime and nighttime, due to the significant land cover change from water to paved surface. However, the intensity of the warmth depends on the urban structure, layout, and design feature imposed on the reclaimed land, and this warming effect was observed to be felt or carried downwind in the existing neighborhood. Quantitatively, during the daytime, the air temperature increase was up to 4 degrees in scenario A and B1, but no more than 2.8 degrees in B2 because of the air cooling capacity of the embedded greenery. At night time, the intensity of the warmth reduced but up to 1.7 degrees in scenario A, B1, and 1.5 degrees in scenario B2. By comparing scenarios B1 and B2, the cooling benefit of the strategic greening was observed in the entire domain. The effect is stronger during the daytime. Up to 2 degrees temperature reduction was realized along the major green wind corridor and large green spaces. Same at night, but not more than 0.5 degree reduction. In terms of thermal comfort, which we indicated by PET, that's the physiologically equivalent temperature, it was found that relative to the pre-reclamation scenario, daytime PET values increased across the post-reclamation scenarios, up to 31 degrees in the highly densified scenario A. However, with improved ventilation in scenario B1 due to the implemented gray design strategies, the magnitude of the PET increase weakens to a maximum of 22 degrees. The gray-green scenario B2 resulted in a maximum increase in PET of about 18.5 degrees compared to the 22 and 31 degrees observed in scenarios B1 and B and A respectively. However, at nighttime, the magnitude of the PET increase is lower and stronger in the vegetated area due to the downward long wave radiation by the trees. The contribution of the grain strategies was observed to be up to 20 degrees reduction during the daytime, covering the entire neighborhood, mainly observed in the new area, but also visible in the existing neighborhood. At night time, however, the effect of downward long wave radiation by the trees becomes more visible. Nevertheless, this so-called negative effect is minimal and underweighs the significant daytime positive effect. In conclusion, creating a new area certainly comes with a lot of challenges. When replacing the ocean, especially when replacing the ocean with built-up areas, it worsens the microclimate both in situ and downwind. The implementation of certain climate sensitive urban design and planning strategies would not only positively impact the new development in situ, but also the positive effect will be felt downwind. Find out more about this ENVI-met water on the ENVI-met website.